So the first thing I'd like to say is that you can establish yourself in any posture that feels comfortable to you. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor. That doesn't mean that you should be doing that. Of course, I'm on a comfortable cushion, and I'm cushioned. My knees are cushioned as well. But you could do it lying down. You can do it in bed. In fact, I really recommend doing mindfulness practice in bed if you need to, or lying down at least, depending on how much discomfort you're in at one moment or another. But let's work together at experiencing the present moment as it is, as you sit here or lie here. And the first thing you'll notice is that the body is breathing. And I say the body's breathing rather than you're breathing, because actually it is the body that's breathing, because at night when you're asleep, the body's still breathing. So it's a really miraculous process of keeping us alive. And let's see if we can just feel the breath moving in and out of the body in this moment. Eyes open is fine, eyes closed is fine. Sitting is fine, or lying down is fine, or for that matter, standing is fine, or for that matter, crouching or squatting is fine. Whatever posture you're most comfortable in. But the invitation here is to actually drop into the present moment with things exactly as they are. And the only breath we're ever interested in, of course, is this one. So can we be with the feelings, the sensations in the body of this breath coming in and this breath going out? And of course, there may be many, many other sensations, some of them really unpleasant or actually painful, that are going on in the body. And we're not trying to wall any of that off. Not at all. But what we're doing is featuring the breath sensations in the body, wherever they're most vivid for you, center stage in the field of our awareness. And seeing if we can just ride on the waves of this breath coming into the body and this breath leaving the body. It could be down here in the belly. It could be at the nostrils. It could be the full kind of breath of the torso, including the chest, lungs. But whatever it is, let's see if we can just place our attention on the breath and then ride with this breath coming in with full awareness, and then ride with this breath leaving the body. Moment by moment by moment. And breath by breath by breath, just feeling what's here to be felt. And as I continue talking, I'd like to invite you to drop inside and underneath my words so that you're staying with your experience. And my words are just kind of pointing out various aspects of experience that might be present for you. And as you stay with the feeling of this breath coming in and the feeling of this breath leaving the body, the sensations associated with the movement of the breath in the body, sooner or later you're going to notice that your mind gets distracted and it's carried away and you get lost in thought. And you kind of forget that your intention was to be present in this timeless present moment we call now, with your body just as it is. And as soon as you recognize that your mind has been carried away and you're not with your breath anymore, you're back. So there's no need to criticize yourself or berate yourself in any way, but to simply, once again, be in this present moment with the breath coming in, the breath going out, and the feeling of that in the body. And as we're doing this, of course, there may be many other sensations in the body, some really unpleasant. And for now, let's let them just be as they are. And if they call our attention really strongly, we can actually give them some attention. But if not, let's see if we can just keep our attention focused on the belly or at the nostrils or wherever the breath is most predominant in your awareness. And then seeing if you can kind of rest here in awareness. Take up residency, if you will, in your own awareness, as if it was like a space, like an apartment or a house that you could actually enter into and settle into for just this brief moment we call now. At home in your own body, at home in your own skin, at home in your own heart, at home in awareness itself. And an awareness that can embrace the unpleasant and the unwanted, and for now at least, not try to push it away, diminish it, do anything with it at all, other than recognize it and stay with the awareness. Moment by moment by moment. And breath by breath by breath. And if you find that your mind wanders again, well, welcome to the club. That's what minds do. They have a life of their own and they kind of wander here and there. You could think of that as like waves on the ocean, waves on the water. And it's in the nature of the mind to wave and to wander. But if you drop underneath the waves in the water, down 10, 20 feet or so, it's always just gentle undulations, calmness. And it's the same with the activity of the mind. If you drop underneath your thoughts and emotions and your narratives about the pain and how challenging this is and how I'm not sure I want to be doing this or whatever it is, those are all thoughts. And they're freighted with emotion. You don't have to push them away or do anything with them, but just drop underneath, just like underneath the waves of the water, down into the belly, into the body, and the gentle undulations of the breath, moving in and out. And resting here in your body, in awareness, and in this timeless present moment we call now. And maybe giving yourself permission to not try to get anywhere else. This is not about experiencing some special state or improving on yourself in any way. It's about being where you actually are and as you actually are in the only moment any of us ever have in life, and that's this moment. So keeping in mind that there's no special something you're trying to get or feel. There's no place to go. There's nothing to do. And there's nothing to attain. For now. For now. And so, in a very real way, you're already at home in this only moment with things exactly as they are. And as you practice in this way over time, if you give yourself over to, say, doing it every morning when you wake up, to accord 5 minutes, 10 minutes, for just dropping into being, underneath all the doing, underneath all the thinking, underneath all the emotions, I'm pretty sure you'll find that over time, you'll grow more intimate and more familiar with what's deepest and best and most beautiful in yourself, that often we have a hard time seeing in ourselves, and always wanting things to be different or to get things to be some other way, and missing the fact that the miracle of this moment is precious and only available if we embrace it in awareness. Whether it's pleasant again, or whether it's unpleasant, or whether it's not pleasant or unpleasant, not so important. Yes, sometimes things are really unpleasant, even painful, but it's still our life, and the question is, how are we going to be in wise relationship to it in the only moment we ever have? And it's always this one. So taking your seat in this way, whether it's lying down or whether it's sitting, I've come to see over the years as a radical act. It's a radical act of sanity, for one thing. It's a radical act of befriending what's deepest and best and most beautiful in yourself. And ultimately, I've come to feel and see and experience it as a radical act of love. So it's not one more thing you should or have to do in your day to become a better person or to deal with your pain more effectively even, or anything like that. It's more an invitation to experience your own beauty and your own wholeness, your own completeness as a human being, just as you are and in the only moment you'll ever have. The magic and the mystery of now. And now. And even now. So in the remaining moments of this meditation, which could actually be stretched out to a half an hour or your whole day, because the real meditation practice isn't what we're doing now, it's life itself. So mindfulness is very portable. You can bring it with you wherever you go. It's always available in this moment, just the way the body is always available in this moment, just the way the breath is always available in this moment. But for now, let's just rest here in awareness, in the silence, in the stillness, and in the beauty, in the mystery of the body breathing. And the invitation for you, moment by moment by moment, to fall awake. and to come to terms with things as they are. Doesn't mean liking them. Sometimes they're terribly aversive, horrible, rending experiences, and we do need to face them and find ways to be in wise relationship to them. But it does mean that you can actually take refuge or get out of the winds of stress and pain and illness and the ways that we actually amplify them in our own minds and through our mindless thinking and emotional reactivity that just compound the stress and compound the pain. So let's recognize it when the mind does that, and that recognition is awareness. And then that's like, all of a sudden, it's like touching a soap bubble. It just goes poof. And that impulse for things to spiral into thinking about how bad things are, we just liberate that. Just poof, with one touch of the soap bubble, it just goes poof. And here you are again in pure awareness, not falling into the story of me and how bad it is or how horrible it is. No matter how bad or how horrible it is, the story is a tiny little piece of who you really are. So let's rest in the boundless spaciousness of awareness, right here and right now, in this, again, timeless moment we call now.